so I'm just attaching the extension on my capacitor. Extension wire. There we go. Here we are. Now, still got a little bit of bare wire right there. I should have put a little shrink tubing over it, but I'm not going to worry about that. Did I get this long enough? Oh my gosh. Barely long enough. Okay. Now, this is going to be a little tricky here. Because you know what? They're all a little tricky, aren't they? Son of a gun. Yeah. I might have a better time attaching to the remaining lead wire that I left behind than trying to attach to the lug. Simply because of my inability to get the soldering iron down in there. There's nothing easy about any of this. Yeah. Pull this black cover off. Try and pull the black cover off. Don't want to go. Whoops. Definitely need some better camera jigs here. That's a little better. There we go. I think I can pull that off now. Perfect, perfect. It broke in half. That's exactly what I wanted to have happen, in fact. So now I got some bared off wire. You know, I'm going to scrape this wire a little bit because I have so much trouble soldering to it. Not that this scraping is having a huge effect here. Pull it forward a bit. Now we're going to fish in this capacitor. Now I'm going to solder the capacitor to the top post, and then with one end fixed in place, it should be pretty easy to manage the other end. That would be my plan of action here. Yeah, the wire just came right off. It was tacked on there. Okay, hold on. Another issue. Now I do feel like Mike Holmes here. Every time I touch something, it needs attention. Well, I think the wire's just poorly placed there. That's a big blob of solder to get rid of. Let's get rid of it. Okay, so now I got that wire to reattach. Yeah. Strands have gone all cockeyed here. I think there's a few broken strands. In fact, I don't think this wire is long for this world here. Yeah, there's all kinds of broken strands in that. Stop working it, man. Let's trim the useless junk out of there. Solder will strengthen that up. We'll put in our little guy here. There he goes. The sound of things falling in the radio there. Bits of solder, I'm sure. Okay, let's stick that down. Let me see if I get it better. Sorry about the camera angle there. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Too many things in the hand at once here. Well, I'll tell you something. If all those movie stars had to be their own cameraman at the same time, they'd have these problems too. So. Now, please stay put. Camera, stay put. Oh, jeepers. Good enough, good enough, good enough. Good enough here. Okay, I know where I'm going with the solder. There we go. That's good. We've really increased the clearance between these terminals too, from removing the excess solder. Now let's get the other end of that capacitor lead. Push this guy down under. Okay. I got way too much wire here. My extension is way too long. So I'll have to cut them. Now I gotta strip it. Oh boy. It'll be a lot easier to strip this wire when it's not in the radio like this, but it is what it is. Okay, I'm working down here. Well, you're nowhere near seeing that. Okay. What to do with that? I could solder that. Again, it's not a very good mechanical connection, but no, it's not going to take on. Oh yeah. There's a good blob of solder on there. Very good. Okay. I'm going to stop for a moment here. Okay, so now we can put this guy down here. Okay. And now I think I can reconnect. Oh no, there's still these two here to change. Yeah, I think I'll do these next. Two of them there, eh? Out they come. 2 Hunt capacitors. .05. .05, so it's a 0.1. So this is equivalent to a 0.1. Which is that. Long stretch. Why go all that way? Why not? Why go all that way? When you could just do this. I don't see any reason to go all that way, so we're going to relocate this capacitor here to ground. This is a ground terminal here. Rather than fish it back all that way. I think I can do that connection back in there now. Let's see if I can just get this into a bit of a better position there. Okay. Very good. And we'll bring this over here. Certainly is reducing the amount of stuff that's in the back of this radio. So now how have we done? We still have this one to replace. Type PRT, high farad dry electrolytic condenser. Dry electrolytic condenser. And looking fairly good in here otherwise. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right in this area. 4 more to go, right in this area here. Sounds like something to do after lunch. That's what I would say. Okay, so I think the next thing I want to take a look at anyway before we do any more is what are these capacitors that have resistors right across them. There's 3 of them here, and I'm pretty sure they are resistors that are bypassed, and a good guess would be that they're cathode resistors with a bypass capacitor. So if we take a look at this one right here, it's connected right to a tube pin, which is great. A pin on the 6A8 tube, and it's pin number 8. So if we take a look at the 6A8, I know you can't see the schematic here, and that's okay. Just actually, I think I have this available through a link, I think. But in any case, I look at the 6A8 tube. The pin 8 is the cathode, and sure enough, R3 and C16, I think that is, C something anyway. R3 is a 330 ohm resistor, and that certainly sounds like a cathode resistor with a bypass capacitor. I don't think there's any doubt of that. So now there's 3 of them in here. 1, 2, 3 that I see now. Maybe there's even more in here. No, but I did just spot another capacitor I hadn't spotted yet. Way up under here. So those are pretty easy to do. I can actually take a capacitor or put the resistor on it just like you see here. Just like you see how it's done here, and you can see the orange one here and another orange one up here. You can see quite clearly how it's done there. So I guess they made those up ahead of time and then installed them as a unit or a single piece. So I can do that easy enough. Now, we really should put the parts back in that need to go in and test the radio at this point before going much further. So that would mean I have to put back this 16 microfarad capacitor. Ooh, 16 microfarads. And that's at 450 volts or something like that. Let's see what I can find to do that with. Okay, well, here's my bag of electrolytic capacitors, but they're all big ones. They're all 47 microfarad. That's far away from 16. That's for sure. So now I've got these ones here. They're 47 microfarads, 160 volts. And the one I took out of there, 16 microfarads, 450 working volts. So I'm thinking I could put two of these in series. That would give me 310. And that's you know, we already measured that kind of voltage in this radio, so I'm not sure putting these in series is going to do the trick. So my choice might be to put one of these bigger ones in, 450 volts, 50 microfarad. Now the problem with doing that is on charge up. The longer charge up period for this capacitor may cause a resistor to smoke. Have to check that.